Hey guys, it's Basie here and welcome to another video. Watch Dogs Legion has had me engrossed since the very first time that they announced it and started showing off bits and pieces of it because it is remarkably bold. I mean, just the premise that you are going to be able to play as any NPC in the game world is outstanding. You look at a game such as the first two Watch Dogs or any of the Grand Theft Autos and you just think about how many NPCs you have around you. I find the idea of being able to play as any one of those characters is astonishing, and the fact that they will be in all cutscenes so that their voice participates within all the cutscenes and the little narrations throughout your gameplay is going to make the game really enjoyable. Which is why I've been so interested in this game since it was announced. Now obviously the concern has been and will continue to be whether they can manage the high quality while going for this level of quantity. Unless you've been under a rock for the last year, Ubisoft have been called out many times on their ability to go big, and when they go big, they haven't been able to keep up the quality in comparison to a company that aims a little smaller, like New World Interactive for Insurgency Sandstorm, whose game is a little bit more narrow, let's say, which is, in my opinion, is one of the most detailed and incredible games when it comes to the realism tactical shooters. They were able to focus on individual areas and they were able to create one of the best tactical games on the market currently. While with the likes of Breakpoint, for example, that came out last year and that strives to be a tactical shooter, but Ubisoft unfortunately went for quantity when it comes to the features instead of getting the core mechanics fixed and ready for launch, which truly made Ubisoft pay the price when it came to the quality of their game. The point is, I've wanted to check out Watch Dogs Legion for a while at this point, and I've looked into the plethora of footage that is on YouTube for the game, including their amazing trailers and that Ubisoft are absolutely amazing for, and I've spent a lot of time really pondering it, thinking about it, and I think I'm ready to share my thoughts, I guess. Watch Dogs Legion, in my eyes, is unstable. And yes, I understand they are doing something remarkably ambitious, which you would think would make Ubisoft confident, but personally I don't think they are. Their decisions such as the 5-star system down to the cutscenes and dialogue, it gives me a bizarre feeling that Ubisoft in a way do not know what they are truly doing with this game. A game is like a stack of paper and a paperweight, where if you have all the paper lined up nicely, it can hold that weight and support it. The paperweight may be nice and stylish, but if you do not have a good foundation underneath the paperweight is not going to do its job. So within regards to gaming and the general game for Watch Dogs Legion, you must have a really strong base in terms of gameplay for all the other features to fit upon it. Otherwise, it just crumbles under its own weight. In a game like Witcher 3, you can completely ignore the main quest and go and do your own thing for many hours and then start the main quest at the end of that journey. Whatever you want to do, the game will support it and it will still be fun because the game's systems are so robust that you can do pretty much anything. You can go explore or play card games and trade, and that are supposed to be complementary to the story but ended up being so fantastically well done that they made for their own fun game by itself. Every game wants to be amazing, like Grand Theft Auto 5 or Witcher 3. I understand that those are very rough comparisons to make, but the reason I bring them up is because the studios who made them are confident in their game and have a decent foundation to support their further features. When we look at Watch Dogs Legion, Ubisoft appears to lack any and all confidence in the product that they have, so much that they seem to have doubled back on one of the key features, and that which was permadeath. I was expecting there to be permadeath, but for some reason they have made this a toggleable feature. The original premise behind Watch Dogs Legion was that you recruit NPCs in the world, and if they happen to die, then you have to go recruit somebody else, or you have to use another recruit that you previously had, and once all of your recruits had died, and you didn't have any backups at all, it was game over and you had to either revert to a previous save, or just start the game over again. I was kind of excited for that because it would force you to go explore and carefully choose your operators. It would raise the stakes of any and all combat sequences, but Ubisoft doubled back on that. Now it's just an option. It's basically a difficulty slider, and if you want permadeath then you can do so, but I feel though most people won't take that route anymore. Not having permadeath features set to on all the time, I feel has really lowered the stakes and made it so you could just start screwing around and not giving a crap, which initially is fun because you just go around constantly dying without really caring, but in the long term it's not really fun because that'll get old quite quickly. Permadeath is one of those cool features that I was really excited for, and it's now completely undermined because Ubisoft wanted to tend to a larger player base instead of taking a stand and being brave and put out this feature that could be polarising but is a great feature nonetheless. To make the players care about what they are doing within your game, you need to make sure that if their character dies and goes away forever, that it is the player's fault. But then again, on Ubisoft's defence, if the game glitches or if the shooting mechanics are unpolished or if there's lag that's present in the game, that means that your character could die and it would be Ubisoft's fault for making a broken game. Which brings me back to the fact that the quality matters when it comes to games, and the fact that they made this feature toggleable proved my point that Ubisoft are not confident in their game. In which, to be fair, has been the case plenty of times in the past, and Ubisoft are pretty much known as a publisher who has pushed incomplete games out for prices that aren't worth the money the player base is paying for. I do not want it to be the case that Ubisoft with Watch Dogs Legion has bitten off a little bit more than what they can chew when it comes to quality over quantity. I'm not saying that they have not refined the game to an extent the game feels flawless, which would be great and it will get people back into playing Ubisoft titles after the bad year in 2019, but the core gameplay mechanic need to be established before everything else starts. So I want to outline that they need to get this right, otherwise the game will not be a good one. It's going to be a challenge for them if they haven't got the core features down, as those are the features that developers work on first before anything else, and it throws the team back to the drawing board if that is not perfect. Which is why with Breakpoint you see how many things they have to go back on because their core mechanics were not there at the launch of the game, or at least the community didn't respond to them well. I have heard that the start of the game is incredible and high quality, so if they can maintain that level of quality then that is great, but they need to ensure they can do that across the entire game, which is where I am thinking that they may not be able to achieve that. There's only so much they can do at the end of the day, and that is one of the things with early adoption of any sort of technology, in the case of Ubisoft doing something new, something revolutionary in the way they can play all the NPCs, or at least should I say there are no NPCs. I'm going to give the game a shot at launch, hopefully with a review for you guys, so that you don't put your hard-earned money into buying a game that may not be the quality that is promised. Or maybe I can convince you to get it if it ends up being something truly fantastic. It's obviously got Cyberpunk to compete with, but Watch Dogs Legion is coming out before Cyberpunk, so what are you buying? Do tell me down below what you think of this video as a whole and whether you are going to be getting Cyberpunk or Watch Dogs Legion, or maybe you're going to be getting both. I do hope you've enjoyed the video, and do hit that subscribe button and the like button, and I'll catch you in the next video.